capacity building program session. I see that Raffaella is joining right now, so she will give her welcome as well. You already received the program of the capacity building program right now. But the main focus of this training session is to provide the trainers that will implement the pilot test with the knowledge of what UISP did before and all the conditions that are required to implement a project such as the neighborhood sport. Again, welcome everyone. I will give the floor for her welcome to Raffaella as well, and then we will start. Thank you. Also, just a quick thing. I will send in the chat attendance list, online attendance list. I would kindly ask you to fill it up while you're listening to the training, so that we have an idea of how many people we have today, and to give the European Commission an idea of how many people we train today. Thank you. Raffaella, it's all yours.
And first of all, I would like to thank you for your participation, because really this project has a meaning just because of the chance to multiply the methodology that we will describe today, and that we tested in Italy in our local committees. As probably Francesca already told you, we are speaking about UISP. It's the Italian Union Sport for All Association that obviously works with the aim to promote physical activity and sport for all as something that is for us, first of all, a human right to move in every sense. And our aim is, let's say, very easily is to reach a psychophysical and social well-being of people. So this is why we provided this kind of methodology in our local context, as we are present in all over the country. So we have different contexts, obviously, and different kind of environments. But let's say that we have few examples that are very different, but have in common the capacity to promote physical activity at local and very near context for people. It means that if we can say that there is an origin of this project, is quite simple. It is that we know that we are fighting the main cause of mortality, unfortunately, one of the main causes of mortality, that is sedentary lifestyles. And this is unfortunately explained and repeated in many documents, in many statements, in many occasions, by not only by the WHO organization, but also by several national plans for to fight sedentary lifestyles and let's say try to promote health promotion. It's a joke of words, but it's a game of but it's very clear meaning. Let's say that what we try to do with this methodology is that we will explain during the day. It's something that we try to understand how, instead of trying to bring them people to our gyms or sport facilities or playgrounds, we try to reach them where people live. So this is what we are trying to do, and it's a quite already, let's say, consolidated system of activities in neighborhoods. And so the origin is very, very simple, and it is this. and the European Commission approved the project that we proposed with this methodology, just in order to try to promote this kind of methodology also in other countries. And in fact, you are here today because we are trying to do our best in order to share our experiences. I don't know if I already go too much forward, Francesca, so you stop me if I'm too long, but I would like to tell you that today is unfortunately a day that is has a coincidence. It's the National Council of our organization just meeting at 9:30. Started exactly at the same time we started with our capacity building, but we really wanted that the new responsible for health promotion would give a message to participate in this our meeting, just to explain you in what kind of strategy and what kind of idea of sport for all we have this project is inserted in. So let's go with the contribution with Massimo Gasparetto.
Dear friends and partners, I'm glad to give a contribution to this capacity session. I've been recently appointed as responsible for health promotion policies in UISP and now working on the definition of our policy guidelines for this specific sector. The methodology proposed with the next project is part of the strategy we have been developing for years. What we are trying to do now is to look for new modalities, for a new articulation of the idea of sport. A new idea of sport. Maybe we need to coin a new word. Here, today, I would like, in fact, to start from the topic concerning the identification of sports for all. We do not have a word that represents us, what we actually do. This search for a term is open and could involve the whole world of social sport, even at a European level, as I believe that it can be a matter that concerns the different organizational systems around Europe, starting from ISCA up to all grassroots sport movements. The UISP is a large organization that promotes sport for all ages, concerning it as a right of the citizens. Precisely for this reason, we have many projects that deal with health promotion, many of which focus precisely on the fight against sedentary lifestyles. Over the years, we have developed a lot of competence and professionalism within the Italian sport environment, precisely because UISP, with its association, values has spontaneously developed many practices and many projects to contrast inequalities over the years. These have greatly contributed to research and innovation areas on the World Health Organization and in general of the European programs to combat sedentary lifestyle. The fight against inequalities starts from prison, institution, to get to gender policies, sport for women, sport for children who are not encouraged to do it. I report as examples our projects for primary school to fight against obesity, as well as the projects for education to sociability, education for healthy and good nutrition for all children, but specifically those who may be in condition of disadvantage. The fight against is now defined educational poverty, but also against psychic distress, up to our historical activity with the elderly. The UISP has always developed many practices, even in the area I come from, where I have been particularly concerned with the elderly. And it is this that has allowed us to be accredited at our health agency in the Veneto region, which recognized the UISP first of all for the project devoted to this specific target group. Among the advantages of these projects, there are the low cost of the activities for the citizens, the fact that the activities are close to home, and I believe that there is an important affinity with the next project, but also the professionalism of our operators. These characteristics, which are also found today in all proximity practices, are fundamental but not still enough. The other aspect in which the UISP stands out concerns its ability to create alliances to play a role of facilitator between the health agencies, the local institutions like the municipality and the province, and also other third sector associations. This role of facilitator, of subject that creates alliances, is what allows projects to become more and more stable, self-maintaining and lasting, thus becoming real opportunities for citizens' physical activities. Let's take, for example, the first step projects, an oblique physical activity project accessible to each child according to their characteristics. Another example is unstructured sport. UISP has a project called Indisciplinati, which gives the possibility to practice parkour, straight line, skateboarding, and so on. All these practices are not competitive, but follow a peer-to-peer modality. There are then working groups, fit walks, and all these activities can go from moderate to less moderate or almost vigorous, which are strongly recommended by the health systems and which we organize in many different ways. There is a wide range of possibilities, from the free walking groups that manages itself, the walking groups that asks for the permanent presence or a physical education graduate, the walking group that gives itself a cultural aim by going on visiting interesting part of the city, the walking group that alternates with a reading group or goes to visit particularly suggestive areas from an environmental point of view. And finally, arriving at the activities for the elderly developed according to the idea of gentle gymnastics, which is the flagship of the history of UISP in health promotion practices. The elderly, in any health condition, find in the UISP an association that is able to make them more safely and rediscover not only the importance but also the pleasure of physical activity. We are now in a transition phase in this post-COVID period, in which all these practices that are historically consolidated need to renew themselves in light of the fact that people are more scared, have been more isolated, many have reduced physical activity. What is more, it has also crept into our society the idea that the other can be a vehicle of contagion. This form of distrust is perhaps the most subtle of all the consequences that this pandemic leaves us. It can be guided, controlled, and governed within this logic of an alliance between individuals' skills and the other characteristics that are the cornerstone of the next project. Goodbye to everybody.